Morning, my name's David Mitchell. I'm the editor of Sea Angler magazine, and we're here in Somerset this morning on this beautiful May morning here at Burnham-On-Sea. And I'm going to be fishing with local angler James Madsen, and we're hoping today to target some thornback rays and some conger eels from the beach here. Now the tide's coming in, it's quite muddy out here, but we've got an incoming tide. We'll be using some squid baits and some fish baits and hoping to get some early bites. So we're going to be spending the morning fishing, and I'm hoping to learn from James how he approaches targeting these species from this section of the Upper Bristol Channel. So first cast is out there. It's about 8:30 this morning. High tide's about 11:30. So yeah, we're hoping for some early bites and some action. Any luck yet, James?
Well, I thought I just had my first inquiry. It might just be a small fish playing with the bait. We'll give it 5 minutes, and then I think I'm going to freshen my baits up a bit.
Well, in the meantime, why don't you tell us where we are, give us some local landmarks, and then perhaps you could explain why you've chosen this mark to fish this morning.
Okay. Well, we're at Burnham-On-Sea, in the heart of Somerset. Big landmark over there, Hinkley Power Station, Hinkley Point.
That's Hinkley Point over the bay then, yep.
Yeah. To the left, we've got the iconic Burnham Lighthouse.
It is, yep.
And then if we look across, we've got Steepholm. Can't see it, but we've got Breen Down is the next sort of big landmark on the shore, and then after that we've got Western Bay.
The famous Western-super-Mare.
Western-super-Mare, yeah.
Okay, and am I correct in thinking that to our north, as I'm looking at it now, that's over the Bristol Channel towards Cardiff?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Wales.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So why are we fishing here today? Well, we're coming into late May, early June. It's a fantastic time of year for thornback ray, and this is probably one of the best venues to catch them. This particular mark is great on a neap tide. It's the fish, there's a sandbank out there, and the fish tend to funnel past us right where we are, right where our baits are fishing. So we're just fishing here really, right time in the tide,
yep,
to give us the best chance of catching a few fish.
Okay, and we're fishing quite close in, aren't we?
We are. There's a lot of tide out there, even though it's, you know, it's a neap today. There's still plenty of tide. There's quite Burnham. This is actually a river bed, so the further you go, the more difficult the fishing. So the fish come right in tight here, so there's no point going out too far.
And what river is it that's flowing into the bay here?
It's the River Parrett.
So it's the Parrett.
It's the Parrett
okay.
estuary, yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right, well, I'm going to get back to my bait and see if I've had any action. So give me a shout if you get a bite.
Will do. So, first fish of the session is a male thornback ray. It's quite a dark one, not too pretty. Circle hooks worked really nicely. You can see that caught right in the mouth where you want it. So we'll be able to easily take the hook out, he says, like so, and pop it straight back. Lovely. Great start. All right, we're going to pop it back now. It's going to give it a gentle bit of encouragement. That way it will swim straight off. If I just slip it back, it could end up just staying around the shallows. So I'm going to almost frisbee it out, like so. Perfect. And he'll go straight off now. Lovely. Lovely playing him on this clean ground. Always saying that. He's hunkered down. We've got to give him a bit of pressure, get him over the little indentations in the mud. We're just guiding it in now. Lovely fishing, great sport. Is it a he or a she? I'm betting it's another male. There we go. Be careful of the thorns. Another male thornback. Lovely.
So, it's first bite, first fish I've had. Looks like a conger. Yeah, got an eel here. Let's bring it into the shallows. Unhook it. So, nice eel, strap conger. Only a couple of pounds probably, but nice to have the first fish. And we'll get it back in the water and get another bait in there. Yeah, obviously like the bluey and squid cocktail that we're using, and it was hooked nice and cleanly on the circle hook. So let's get it back in the water, see if we can get another one. Okay, so James, why don't you explain the rigs that we're using today to fish with?
Okay, so earlier in the tide we had a couple of rays and we were on circle hooks. I really like circle hooks for rays. It's a conservation thing, you miss less bites. This is actually done on a dongle, which means that we can clip it up on the loop. So
okay, so why don't you explain what a dongle is?
Right, so this is a fixed paternoster rig. Okay, and the dongle is what you attach your bait to. Keeps the bait fixed.
So the dongle is a piece of
braid.
Yeah. And it's got a loop knot at the end.
So I've tied a perfection loop at the bottom, and the reason being so it can clip up to the imp.
Right, so the loop clips the bait down.
Yeah.
During the cast.
Stretches it out, makes it nice and aerodynamic.
Yeah, and the circle hook is just nicked through the top of the bait.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you've got nice bait presentation.
Yep.
And you've got a very clean exposed hook point for bites.
And I always loop my hooks as well on that perfection loop.
So what do you find the benefit is of using the dongle rig for fishing like this?
Fishing for rays, you don't miss bites, or you miss less bites, and predominantly hook the fish cleanly in the lips. So, you know, it's a quick and easy release.
But you could just as easily use J hooks with the dongle rig.
And you've just had a conger eel. I dropped one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch rigs, and we're going to fish more of a traditional pulley rig with a pennel.
Okay. And would you always use a single fixed paternoster with a pulley rig, or can you have multiple? With a dongle rig, or can you have multiple dongle rigs?
Well, like, could you fish a 2-hook clip down?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do.
Yep.
Yeah. You just put the loop on the cascade.
Right. Okay. Great. So you're switching over to a panel rig, are you?
I'm going to put a pulley out. Yeah.
Yeah.
With just a traditional J hook, with a pennel on the top, and you're going to get more hookups with the eels on that.
You are.
I mean, everyone's different, but for me, I'm not keen on circle hooks for congers.
For congers. Yeah. Well, as you explained earlier, they tend to hook in the bottom of the mouth.
Yeah.
But they've got hard top, sort of top lip, which prevents the hooks from penetrating.
Yeah, so you can only really hook it in one place, so you're going to miss a lot of fish.
You're going to miss a lot of bites. All right, well, I'm going to carry on with the dongle rig for a little while, see how I get on, and then I might switch over as well.
All right.
Does that make sense?
It does. Perfect sense.
All right, let's see how we go.
Excellent. Hour before high water, just had a good slat liner. Pretty certain this is another ray. I'll cast that a bit further there. A little bit further. Seemed to do the trick. There's been a few congers showing as the water comes up. I imagine we're going to get a few more as the session goes on. It is a conger. I called that wrong. Messed that up. Oh dear. Just caught my first conger of the session. Just wanted to reinstate what I said about the circles. These eels have got the top of the mouths. Obviously the purpose of the circle hook is obviously to not put the fish in the gut or, you know, damage any of its delicate organs. As this hook's come out on an eel, there's only one place, he's not very happy, that there's only one place it can go, and that's in the bottom lip. It will not go in the top because it's too hard. So, you know, you're greatly reducing your chances of hooking an eel on a circle. And you can only really get it in the top lip. I think we should put this one back. He's a bit angry. Ooh. Let's have a bit of fun with these.
Okay, eel number 2. Well, number 3 in total. James has had one, but another conger, similar size, and that was on the same rig, on the dongle rig, with the squid and bluey I'm using. It's very shallow water out here, and it's coloured, it's sort of chocolate brown colour, but they seem to have the confidence to come in nice and shallow in this coloured water. So we're about mid-tide now, and we've had a few bites, so let's get this one back in again and keep going. Beautiful fish.
Right, we're just another eel. It's been all about the eels for the last few hours. We've dropped as many as we've caught today. I think that's because we've been on the smaller tides. But we're just starting to find a bit more tide again on the ebb, like we thought we might. And I think we're going to catch 1 or 2 more fish before the session's out. I shall slip this one back now. It's been quite well behaved. I won't push my luck.
Okay, so James, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. We've had a fantastic morning's fishing here at Burnham in Somerset. We've caught plenty of congers. We've had a couple of thornbacks. Those were the target species we came here to catch. So we've been very successful, and that's thanks to you guiding us, taking us to your local patch around here. This is an incredibly good mark to fish, and I tell you what, it's really easy. It must be a fantastic place for people to come who perhaps aren't terribly experienced and want somewhere that's easy to fish where you don't have to cast very far. Is it somewhere that you'd recommend bringing people?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've had everything in our favour today. We've had a small tide, which helps a lot. There's a huge rise and fall, So when the tide's smaller, you're not running at the beach quite so quickly. We also had obviously sunshine and wind off our backs. So we've really been blessed with the ideal conditions. But absolutely, yeah, I think, you know, anyone could come down, you know, if you're on holiday down at Burnham, come down, get some fish bait, pulley pennel, whatever rig you fancy, and just chuck it out. I think you catch some fish.
Yeah, it is easy fishing, and that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, you know, it really does mean that anyone, even with very little experience at all, can come down here and catch some fish and have a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and that's what it's about. And you know, and I think you get a lot of enjoyment out of the equipment and all the rest of it when you can sort of take your time and you're on clean ground, and catching big fish, rays and congers on clean ground is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's a good point you make actually, because it's totally clean sand. You've got no snags, apart from perhaps the mud that your lead's going to get stuck in sometimes. But aside from that, you've got no snags, so it's very nice clean ground to fish over. You're not going to lose tackle.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Well, thanks very much for bringing us down here. It's been a great day.
Good.
And what did we have in the end? 10 or 12 fish?
Yeah, we had a couple of rays early on, didn't we, in the session on the flood, and then once we reached high water, the congers came in, and we had a good few, didn't we? I can't remember exactly how many, but I think it was probably 10.
I think it must have been around 10. I lost count, actually.
Yeah. And there was a few, they were getting slightly bigger towards the end. I think the biggest was probably about £8, but good fun on light tackle.
Absolutely good fun on light tackle. Yeah, well, I look forward to coming down here again sometime, maybe later in the summer.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And it's really good to spend some time fishing with you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you.
Cheers.